This video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. Right guys, 4th of June, we have on the main card, co-main event, Dan Ige taking on Movsar Evloev, the undefeated 15-0 featherweight here, and he's looking an absolute beast lately. But Dan Ige, not too sure what to make of his career at the moment because he's fighting the who's who. He's coming off back-to-back losses over Josh Emmett, where he, in my opinion, wasn't that competitive. Josh Emmett kind of handled him, and Chan Sung-Jung, which showed the level. You know, he shows the level in this division. When you see Chan Sung-Jung go against Volkanovski, and that's not even close, and then you see Chan Sung-Jung versus Dan Ige, that's not really close. I think it's kind of showing where Dan Ige sits in the division, but where do you feel like Movsar Evloev is coming into the division now? Do you think it's kind of an even keel?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing with Evloev because he's doing well. He's still undefeated, obviously, but I myself have kind of been waiting for the fighter to kind of expose the myth that's Evloev. I'm not as much of a believer as many, I think, on Evloev. I think we were promised a bantamweight run before the featherweight run, and it's like, oh, he's too big. Let's move up to featherweight full time. And now he's going to be this But you know, I mean, we go back a couple fights to the Nick Lentz fight. He looked. I mean, Nick Lentz, yes, he's a proven veteran, but he was washed at that point.
Yeah,
went to a split with him. You know, and you can argue if it was a split or not, and I can understand. But still, it was a competitive fight with Nick Lentz there. Ige has been off for years since the Emmett fight, which was not competitive at all. His last two fights were not competitive at all. I think that, honestly, the Gavin Tucker fight, you can kind of throw that out. So he has really three fights in a row that kind of have returned him back, I think, to more where people thought Ige was. I think after the controversial Edson Barboza decision, a lot of people were like, this guy isn't who we think he is. Now these fights against kind of guys like Sung Jung. So I don't think Dan Ige is a co-main event fighter, and I don't think Evloev is a co-main event fighter yet. But yeah, I do think that when you're looking at the trajectories here, I think Dan Ige has gotten married lately. He's gotten, a better contract. I think he's still at Extreme Couture, but Extreme Couture has had, kind of their ups and downs over the last year or so. They have got a ton of fighters in there. So for me, all of the intangibles, all of the kind of the correlations are pointing towards Evloev trending upward here. And for me, I'm not sure if this is even Evloev's toughest fight in the UFC or not in Ige. I'm not sure how good Ige is.
Yeah, that is a question. How good is Ige? Because he beats all the guys maybe ranked 10 to 15 comfortably.
The Gavin Tuckers of the world.
Yeah, the Aguilars, the Danny Henrys, Jordan Griffins, whatever. I can't remember them all. But there's he went to split, as you say, with Barboza, which I had Barboza winning that. And, Bektic as well, where Bektic kind of, he has that moment where he just flops in a fight. He just turns off for some reason like a robot. But yeah, I think we are finding there's a way to exploit Dan Ige.
I'll tell you the fight. I'll tell you, it was the fight even on his debut after his Contender Series. The Contender Series, I wasn't blown away.
Oh, Julio Arce.
Yeah, Julio Arce, where he really got opened up quite a bit in that fight. I've never really rated him or Arce very highly after that fight. I saw both guys, and I was like, they both look like they're okay. So really, Ige has been proving me wrong for a lot. But I think Evloev is a world-class grappler and wrestler overall, but I'm just not sure about how the rest of his game's progressing here. And that's where maybe I'm talking out both sides of my mouth, but Ige does blend his game together very well. He is able to blend the whole game together, and striking-wise, I'd still give it to Ige. So
yeah, I agree with that.
There are ways Ige wins this fight. And Evloev, for me, is just kind of very, very methodical or technical. And I think that's going to work till it doesn't. But I don't think Ige is the guy to solve that.
I like to think, even with before he met Nick Lentz, which sounds bizarre, he kind of broke people. Like he especially broke Mike Grundy. That was a super competitive first round, especially with the grappling. We know how good Mike is with, as a Commonwealth wrestling champion. You had Grundy, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Grundy rocked him as well. He sacked him a couple times, and I keep feeling if Ige clips Evloev like that, he has the volume and the
Grundy had him in a pretty deep Darce choke there too.
He did.
And that's where Evloev really showed his toughness.
He's
more than just a technical guy.
He got out and Grundy went, well, if I can't get him with that.
It was over after that. It was over.
But the forward pressure he brings to these fights, I think Dan Ige can get on his bike more, counter-strike him really well. Mm-hmm. If it comes to the grappling, I think Dan Ige's top game is incredible. It is seriously good.
Yes.
But Movsar is a wrestler. He's not a jiu-jitsu practitioner to say. He obviously has skills, but that's not his game. His game is a Khabib style where he pins you and mauls you. I just feel like Dan Ige has all the ways to exploit Movsar for the first time properly. He's that level where I think Movsar has come into the UFC and hasn't improved, but he was way above fighting non-ranked opponents. As soon as he hits these ranked guys, I feel like there's someone that's going to exploit him, and I think Dan might be that first guy.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but it's like you got concerning splits on Dan Ige's record, like the Mirsad split recently. I mean, the split against Edson Barboza that I think most media scored for Edson, if I'm not mistaken. It's just like I don't know if. I think that Evloev would have gotten that exploited against Ilia Topuria, which was the fight they was supposed to have last. And I think if he wins this fight with Ige, you set up that fight next. And so you run that back. So with all the fights that the UFC has tripped over their dick to keep, like redoing Parker Porter and Almeida on 4 fight cards if they had to, they would have. They should do that with if Evloev is able to win this fight. But yeah, Evloev, it's like he's gone over to Tiger Muay Thai. He's done all these things to supposedly improve the striking. He's trained with ATT. Like, it's just never happened. He's never improved. And he can, but his, floor, as they say, if you don't improve and you're just as good as what you come in, it's still very high. Beats guys like Hakeem Dawodu convincingly, which is impressive. And, Hakeem Dawodu versus Ige takes Hakeem Dawodu all day. And so it's but yeah, I don't think Ige is that guy. For me, I do think that guy's coming on the horizon for Evloev, and I do think it's Ilia Topuria, if I had to predict. But it's not going to be Ige.
Okay, perfect. So you're going Movsar for this fight. I'm going Ige here.
Yeah, I'm going Movsar by decision, honestly. I think it's another decision win. I don't think it changes anybody's opinions on either side of Movsar. People who believe in Movsar already believe in him because of why they believe in him, and so far you can't disagree with it. But people who don't believe in him are still not, I think, going to be sold after this fight. I think this is a fight that he gets by, and if he finishes a guy like Ige, that's a statement. But finishing Ige,
that's a coming out party. If you finish
finishing Ige is not something I can predict realistically.
Awesome.